Welcome everybody. Our first guest today is a very special person from the UK. He is the Managing Director of Admission India in Shillong. Please let's welcome Jasbir Singh. Hi Jasbir.
Hello Zaren, how are you doing today?
I am doing good. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
So you're in the UK right now. How is everything over there? Your family?
Yeah, I am here in Coventry, UK. My wife, my daughter, they were here with me. Yeah, we've just had an unexpected 30-minute snowfall. I mean, that doesn't happen in November. So that was good fun to start the day with. Yeah, and excited to talk to you as well.
I love it. I cannot wait to talk to you, and thank you so much for making the time to come to my show. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Alright, you are the Managing Director of Admission India in Shillong. So how did Admission India come into existence? What is the story behind that?
Yeah, the story is a pretty exciting one. I personally, once I completed my master's degrees from the UK, have always been working with international students out here in the UK. We've been helping a lot of international students who come to study in the UK with different online tutoring and teaching them subjects which they struggle with, and then also helping them getting admissions to the universities within the UK. And for family reason, I had to move to India for around 3 years in 2016. And when I was there, I mean, I kind of spent a decent bit of time in northeast of India, Shillong, and I figured that the youngsters were not having enough opportunities, and also even though they had talent and skills, or at least willingness to work hard, I think the awareness was missing. There was a lot of people who just didn't know how to go about things they wanted to do. So for them to study abroad, or even to study a different part of India, was a far-fetched idea. Of course, there has been a pedigree of people who've been moving abroad and outside India, also to places such as Bangalore and bigger cities, but not enough. And what was important was that we were working closely with some youngsters, and we figured that it is important that we as locals, because my wife is from Northeast, I have so many friends there, and I wanted to actually have a trust element established with people out there, because a lot of people who have tried to do this business, or this social enterprise, I would call it, not business as such, have not been able to actually build that trust, because they've sent students to very, very small places, dodgy places, and the response has not been very good. And we wanted to just change that. And since I already had tie-ups with some international universities, I figured that it'll be a good thing for both us and the youth of Northeast. And later on, we expanded to pan-India, a pan-India customer base, purely because we want to actually help young Indian individuals make better life and career decisions, not choices, decisions. So we want to get involved in their whole decision-making process. So that's how it happened. We started off with the name of Bold Move Admissions and Visa Consultancy, but then our strategy is to actually move about in a way wherein we can bring in technology to the forefront of reaching out to the students. So we went and we actually started off this web portal called AdmissionIndia-An.
And so many students have been helpful. And how many students have Admission India helped so far in the past few years?
Countless. I mean, when we were working from the UK and we were not actually existing in the Northeast, on an average we were helping around 300 to 350 students successfully, making decisions through us, enrolling through us. But to reach that number, we were dealing with, couple of thousand students overall, because obviously you talk to X number of students, and out of those X number of students, you're able to actually successfully, complete the decision making with, a certain number of students. So we've helped quite a lot of students, countless, I would say. The only thing is that at that point of time we were not called Admission India. So our company is called actually Stabilize Solutions Limited. Started in 2012 in the UK, and then we moved and established a company in India as well. So we've got presence both in North India and Northeast of India at this moment. And with the web portal coming into being, we expect to actually reach out to almost all young Indians. Idea is to actually have a web portal which enables students pick courses and speak to us for picking the courses for both within India and abroad. We are the only company which enables actually from one search bar to choose courses for both within India and abroad. We're still adding more courses. By end of this week, we are expecting around 30,000 courses to be up and running. So I think anybody who wants to visit the website probably should wait for another week or so to get real use of it. But going forward within month or 2 months time, we'll have more than 100,000 courses from both Indian universities and abroad universities. So you will be able to actually check if suppose your budget is only 2 lakh rupees per year to study MBA, you still have a course there. And suppose you want to actually go to UK to study your MBA and you can afford to spend 20 lakhs, you'll still have a course option for you. And if you want to go to Ivy League in America, you'll still have options there to choose from, and we can help you to actually choose the right course, right place of study, and help you get there.
I think Admission India is doing an amazing job, because we know that especially in the Northeast there is a huge number of students who wants to go for something unique, a unique course. So having Admission India helping them go for something fresh and unique is amazing. And also your services.
Yeah, what we found out with students from Northeast of India is there is a lot more creative bent there, and they purely because academics has not been the strongest point for an average Northeastern students, purely because of the way schooling and colleges are set up at this moment. Part of our existence is also to actually challenge and improve on that status quo, right? But yes, individually, what we found is Northeastern students are way more creative, and they want to actually go for, say, non-conventional courses. They want to go for something which is unique, something closer to their own heart and mind. And we work very hard, and our counselors are trained to actually inculcate, personality tests, psychometric tests at times, to try and actually validate their own feelings about whether or not what they're thinking can actually be translated towards a career. And I think once you do that, and with the goal of actually having a decision which the student himself can commit to, and he doesn't, and at times that decision can mean that, you don't need to actually study outside your city. Why don't you just self-educate yourself with the existing tools online, and then do what you have to do? Because idea is to actually, student first approach means that we actually take care of the students rather than us first. Also, as I said, our objective is not to help students place in best possible institutes only. That's not the only objective. Our key objective is to help students find their passion, something they can actually keep their creativity and capabilities intact with, and work around their preferences to make a decision which they can commit to. And if the decision means that they stay where they are and work hard and learn a skill and continue to run their own small enterprise, so be it. But they should be happy with whatever choices or decisions are being considered, and final decision has to be committed to.
Something that they want to do for the rest of their lives. How did you decide to establish Admission India in Shillong?
Oh, as I said, I was there for 3 years. I've got loads of friends in Shillong as well. My wife actually studied in England, and that's where I met her. I've got few friends who are from Shillong who were studying with us in England. And so I had a deeper connection to Shillong anyways. And my objective was to actually spend a lot more time there. When I established Stabilis in 2012, I always knew that I'm going to spend a lot more time in India, and I have been doing that. Being a British citizen, I have spent like 3.5 years of my last 5 years in India with my family, which is in North India, and in Shillong as well. So when we were in Shillong, I felt that this is where people need more help. So my Coventry office was already there. And then I have an office in Yamunanagar, which is my hometown in Haryana. It's more of a North Indian Punjabi belt. And then it was just an extension of that business function or social enterprise in Shillong. But when we were very excited about it, and the response has been very good as well.
What challenges did you have to overcome when you were first starting out with the consultancy?
Look, I think it's been very clear in my mind. After I did my MBA, so if you look at, say, around 100% of the students who come to the UK, once they actually do their master's degree, because they want to settle, they are looking for job experience, and that as a route to settle, right? And I always knew that I want to be an entrepreneur. So, because I had worked in India, I'd worked with Times of India in the marketing department. I had worked with Wipro. So I had experience behind me. I was 25 when I came here, and what I always knew was that once I did my MBA, MBA actually changed the way I thought about work and business, to be honest, and that was the turning point in my life. It gave me enough, courage and skill and belief that I can actually start something on my own. So I went on and I actually took part-time jobs in Burger King, and I was doing pizza deliveries and things like that. But I never took a full-time job. My full-time job was to actually build my business. And I started off there on. And I call myself as a journeyman entrepreneur. So I started off with different industries and zeroed into then education, and now I would call myself an insider expert of education industry, both in online tutoring, admissions, and how industry is moving towards new technologies, new teaching methodologies. So because that was there, I won't say that it was challenging in a way wherein I did not have a vision. Challenges came in the way to actually establish physical office in Shillong. It wasn't easy to find space. I had to take help of my northeastern, team, so to say. I think there is still a challenge of being accepting and trusting of people who not from northeast. So that was definitely there. But that doesn't mean that people are not accepting of it. It's just when you actually go on and look for business space and things like that. Individually, you can strike an amazing bond with everybody. But if you are not connected with people within Northeast, it is difficult for any new entrepreneur to actually establish something which can be my idea of having an admission business in Northeast was more of to actually help Northeastern people than to help myself, because I always knew the numbers for other sides of India stacked better if you look at from purely business sense. But then because I really wanted to make a difference in the community of Northeast, because most of our relatives and all, and I saw that young students needed help. So when we started off, there was a little bit of difficulty to find place, but I must say that everybody, once they knew and believed what I was wanting to do, they rallied around me, and we were able to find everything we wanted to, from place, resources, and people. Right now, we've got around 30 individuals working with us in Shillong. 12 or 13 of them work in the office, and we've got a data entry team, we've got a digital content team, and things like that, and people work from home as well. So it's an awesome team we have there. So challenges wise, I would say, long as your vision is clear, I think you can overcome the material challenges in one way or other. Of course, you got to have a clear vision and commitment towards that vision.
There was a quite number of challenges that you faced over the years working as a part-timer into practicing. But how have your priorities changed from when you first started to now?
Yeah, I mean, as a journeyman entrepreneur, your first project is basically let's make a lot of money, and that's what we were trying to do. But the industry I was in, because we were helping international students who were kind of coming here, and they were finding it very difficult to find the right kind of support to teach them specific subject. I mean, mechanical engineering softwares to do some kind of material selection, and universities were using top end softwares, and there was not much support being provided to them. So they reached out to people like me, and I actually worked out again with a lot of young Indian students from IIT and everywhere. At one point of time, I was working with around 20 odd students from an IIT hostel, and they were actually helping these kids learn these softwares. So, and that was a profitable business altogether, but it was not scalable. So how things changed for me was that having done multiple projects, I even tried my hands in developing a property automation software, property service management automation software, which worked okay. But fact of the matter is, how things changed was that I wanted to do something which is scalable. And in addition to scalability, it's having a positive impact on people who are engaged and involved in that business, all kinds of stakeholders. So right now we have and I think this particular project of ours fits that. So if you look at the stakeholders, students, are we able to make a positive impact on them? Definitely. Employees, are we able to actually make a positive impact on them, on their family's life? Definitely. We are the only I'm proud to have this particular thing as an achievement during COVID times, while people were working from home with challenges of internet connectivity and things like that in Shillong and around Northeast. We did not actually lay off anybody. We did not cut anybody's pay. We were able to actually still progress. So now I think as an individual, as an entrepreneur, I think I've found where I want to be for my future, so to say. I'm very excited to be speaking to young students. I'm a passionate counselor apart from a passionate entrepreneur as well. So I think the fact that I've found something which has positivity attached to every aspect of it, I think I feel a lot more settled. I feel a lot more settled with my approach, my vision, and I'm not rushing into actually just looking at the money, because money can follow. If you do things right, execute things right, I think money follows, as long as you have a right idea and right approach to execute and implement what you intend to implement.
You wanted to do something where the youngsters were feeling guided.
Everybody, not only youngsters, I think parents as well. You'll be surprised how our conversations go with parents. I mean, it's an eye opener for them. I think parents, because Indian parents are, I've lived in West, I've traveled around, and I can tell you the value system we have in India is way more stronger. People don't actually value it themselves because they take things for granted at times. And I can tell you, Indian parents care about the kids so much. So what they want to do is they want to ensure that, the child is making the right decision. Obviously, they try and ask people around them, a relative who's done well. But now with education changing so rapidly, people who are exposed to one field or two fields cannot be the right people to actually help you be aware of almost all options you have, right? So when we speak to students and parents and the peer or closely tied support group, you'll be amazed to see how they find that, okay, we didn't know that, we didn't even know this existed. The machine learning, artificial intelligence, business intelligence, simplest subject, digital marketing, video editing, how things are changing, how easy it has become to start some ventures digitally, because everything is, this is the best time to start things, right? And people don't know about it. So overall, as I said, all stakeholders, we feel that we are able to actually make a positive impact with and on them. And that is an exciting prospect in itself. And that's why I really enjoy this business.
Mm-hmm. I love that you love what you're doing, which brings me back to knowing what you know now. Is there anything that you would have done differently when you were starting out?
Look, I think the best thing is that, I personally, if I speak about myself, I don't, half-ass things. I commit myself and then do things, okay? I think things through and then commit on it. Everything I've done it with a clear vision and purpose. So if you look at it in terms of, do I have any regrets? I would say no. My life has been beautiful. I mean, I started off with almost nothing. My parents have supported me. I was able to afford an opportunity to go abroad with no money. I mean, it was purely, stars that helped me. I was a good student always. I scored good marks in my class 12. I was able to get admissions in the best campus in India, which is North Campus in Delhi University. So my life has been beautiful. I mean, I've got a lovely family as well. So can't complain on that. But if you say that knowing what I know today, if I knew something which I knew earlier, I would have probably, started this earlier. But I think that what I've gone through was also equally important for me to actually come to this road to start this. Because if I didn't do that, then probably, because this is more of a social enterprise, and I always wanted to be, someone who can build a multi-million pound business, which we can with this as well. So I probably wouldn't, have felt the same way about it today. I think my life has been something which I look very proudly at and happily at, and with very lot of contentment. So probably you learn every day. I mean, I am a Sikh from religion, not by the looks of it. As a Sikh, I mean, Sikhism teaches us being a lifelong learner. I mean, that's the word. Sikh means that you're a lifelong learner. So that's what I'm trying to be, and I think I'm really enjoying what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we won't have to enjoy what we're doing, what we love.
Of course, I mean, if you can't have fun in what you're doing, choose something else.
There's no,
I mean,
yeah, so true.
But really, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the many communities. I mean, I look at certain communities and certain cultures which actually have a belief that you should be doing something you don't like if it brings you enough money to keep your family safe and progressing. That is one approach, and whether or not it works for everybody, I doubt. So it's important that you as an individual are able to find what works for you. And long as you're having fun, long as you're moving in the right direction, you're not doing something which is negative, I think you'll be okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I love that. What are the different kinds of services that Admission India offer to students abroad and in India?
Yeah, so when we started off, many companies only send students abroad. Okay, why? Because that kind of gets you a little bit more money than sending students within India or helping students for decisions within India. And as I explained to you, when I spoke to youth of Northeast, I mean, there was no way that most of them could be able to think of going abroad. They won't be able to afford it. So it was very clear in our minds that we want to actually help them study both within India and abroad. So we went on to tie up with around 70 Indian universities where we actually can directly get them admissions, and covering different aspects of courses. So in terms of services, we are able to help them pick a most suited. When I say most suited, it's backed up by the fact that our approach keeps their passion, their creativity, their capability, and their personal preferences, which might include city they want to be in, money they want to spend on, things like that. So our objective is to find them the most suited university both within India and abroad. Okay, that's first and foremost service. In doing so, we actually work closely with them, helping them make a decision which they can commit to, as I said. And that's a process that in itself. Ranjita and Abdor and Tanya, the people who have been actually at the forefront of our senior management, all four of us were absolutely crystal clear that we'll be welcoming students for free counseling. Counseling is something we'll never charge for. So student can, because we want to help students, so students can just walk into our office or call us, and we'll be happy to give them counseling about anything at any stage for free. When you walk into the office, obviously you get a tea and coffee as well for free, along with some cookies. But that aspect of function is absolutely without charge, so that we can help students make those decisions. Whether or not they want to take admissions or not, that's a different matter altogether. So yeah, we've got counseling, we've got admission support. We are also experts in PhD admissions. Because I've been working with international students for 10 years, I think not many Indian companies are set up in a way wherein they have know-how as to how PhD admissions work, how scholarships work. In Europe, most of the PhD assignments are more like jobs, and then there are postdoc jobs as well. So we help students with that as well. And that is more of a chargeable service, because that is a longish kind of process, but something where we have to actually engage them ourselves with students on a deeper level, and also kind of carry out an initial assessment whether or not student has the credentials to be even thinking about PhD, right? You can't just go for PhD just because you've thought about it. You've got to have certain credentials. In addition to that, we are also helping students learn English. We're working to set up a language school which will enable students to learn English in Shillong office and online through our portal, plus French and German. So that's something which we are setting up and should be up and running. And French and German, we kind of determined to ensure that we have natives teaching that online to people who want to learn Pan-India. And visa services, we help them get their visas. If suppose you've gotten your admission from somewhere else and you want to actually still get help seeking how to get your visa, we can do that for you. So there's quite a lot of things. And most importantly, as I said, you know what, when student comes to us, we will look at what they need, and if we are able to do it, we'll try and help them out.
Getting back to the free coffee in the office, I have been to your office in Shillong so many times, and the employees there are one of the sweetest, kindest, and I've drank 2 to 3 cups almost every time. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that we want to make people feel welcome. Yeah, and that's very simple. I mean, I think we've got a very professional and friendly team, and we are trying to work hard to train them so that they learn things which they don't know yet, but they've also got some skills which they've been hired with. So when you club them together, you've got a very good combination of individuals who are willing to help with right attitude and have skills to help you. Because having right attitude alone doesn't help. You've got to have skills, because one thing we cannot forget, and I think all our team understand that when we speak to student, we kind of having a life-changing discussion with them. And even though the student at times doesn't realize that, we are very much aware of it, because it has happened to us. When you speak to someone who knows a little bit more about what you might want to do at times, or options, you look up to them, and that discussion becomes a life-changing discussion for many at times. or a series of discussion, if not the first one. So we're very aware of that, and we try and actually, behave in a manner wherein we don't shelve that responsibility elsewhere. It's our responsibility. We want to actually help you make a better career and life decision, and we'll do our best to do that. Whether or not we are able to do that, it's a different thing altogether. But if we continue to work harder and gain skills to do that, I'm sure I'm very proud of the way we've been able to help students up until now, and we're continually improving on that.
The thing about Admission India that I like is they have free counseling. They help you search your universities of your choice, of your country, wherever you want to go. And also they help you prepare for any entrance exam. So that's the best thing about Admission India. Is there anything that you want to say to any students out there who wants to go abroad and study or is looking for a university in India?
Yeah, I mean, my simple message is that, follow your dreams. There is nothing you can't achieve. Today is the best time to actually follow anything you want to do. If you think you cannot afford to go to a top-notch university, there are still universities which teach top-notch education, deliver top-notch education. Whether or not you found what you want to do, if you haven't, connect with us. If you have, find the best path. Wherever you need help, seek help of people who might be able to help you. Apart from Admission India as well, there are many companies who actually do that, or many organizations who do that. Seek help wherever you need. But once you make a decision, be committed to it. The journey of you not knowing and journey of you to reach a point wherein you feel that this is exactly what I'm going to do. That is the most important journey, because once you know, half the job is done. Once you know what you're going to study, where you're going to study, half the job is done. But what happens before that is so very important. It's so very important, especially in current climate of India. Things are changing so fast globally. The options are just changing so fast. Automation, robotics and all are going to actually make a lot of jobs redundant. So if you're still thinking of doing X, which is not going to be done the way it has always been done, you need to change the way how X is changing, right? So it's important that you seek advice of people who might be able to help you better. One more thing is that whatever you do, my favorite advice to youngsters is that don't half-ass things. If you're gonna not be fully committed to things, you'll always be wondering, what if I did better? What if I worked harder? What if I did? Give it to your all, and then you'll have only learning, no regrets. Because the most painful thing is regret. So go for it, think big. If you don't have resources, think big, start small, scale fast. So always have a bigger goal. You can scale fast because you're going to work hard. And if you have to start small, start small. All of us, all people who call ourselves, I call myself a successful entrepreneur because I believe that I am on my journey of being a successful entrepreneur, right? And I'm not saying that I've made, a big name or, I've earned a lot of money. No. But I see myself as a successful entrepreneur. So as a youngster, you got to see yourself what you want to be. So think big, always think big. Start small if you have to, and scale fast.
That is a great advice, Jasbir. I hope that whoever is watching this, especially the students, feels motivated, encouraged, and inspired. That is Jasbir Singh for you. Admission India office is in Shillong, Meghlaya. I will attach their Instagram page on my description. They also have a website if you want to check out the services and feel guided. Thank you so much, Jasbir, for coming to my show. I loved having you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, Zaren. Good luck with your venture, everything you're going on with. Best of luck, yeah? Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll see you next time, Jasbir. Bye.
See ya.